Hey friends, welcome to the studio. I want to talk to you about what my next new project I'm going to do throughout the year, this year. Last year I worked on a temperature quilt all year, so intermittently I had an opportunity to come upstairs, and if I couldn't figure out what I wanted to sew on, I always had something that I could work with. And I worked on a pixel quilt too. So every day, something to sew, something simple, something I could break down into small chunks. So this year I want to do the same thing, and I'm taking my inspiration from the internet. Several of the painters that I follow are doing projects throughout the year, whether it be workbook projects or just painting 100 tiny things or something like that. So this year I thought I would make 100 small blocks. Not tiny blocks, because some of you can get a little crazy with your tiny, but this year I'm gonna do 6-inch blocks, and I'm gonna try to make 100 by the end of the year. Or at least 100 by the end of the year. And this is what I have to work with. I've got tons of scraps, but I also have all the leftover squares from the temperature quilt and the pixel quilt, and some fabrics that used to be fat quarters that are no longer fat quarters anymore, and they're bright and colorful. And so here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick a color and work probably a color a month, and work just on blocks in that color range or in and around that color range. And I want to use some books that I already have in my stash. So I'll put links in the description box underneath of some of these books. But the first one is 100 Blocks by Tula Pink. This one is a modern quilt book. And just to give you a little sneak peek, some of these blocks are super simple, some are more complicated. So I like the idea of having maybe even too many choices, but a lot of choices, because if you're in the mood to do something complicated, great. And if you're not, that's okay too. And I'm also gonna try to use some scrap techniques. Maybe I'll make some fabric to put these together. Well, I don't know, we'll see, we'll get through it. But anyway, this book, gonna be a great book to use. I also found this one, Hobo Quilts. There's 55 different, very strange, some super easy, some not so easy blocks in this book. And it's a really great story of the Knight's Road quilts. Also, The Farmer's Wife. This is a 6-inch, and there's 111 different patterns in there. These are much more traditional patterns and using all kinds of different fabrics. I want mine to be really colorful, so I probably won't go to the drab, but I am a traditional piecer, so sometimes it's nice to do something really fun. And in the same vein, I have the Civil War Diary quilt. This one has 121 6-inch blocks. Again, here's a few just in the choice, and I don't know if I'll make one or all or some. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. But anyway, there's another one. Also, I got this book from Eleanor Burns with my Go Cubes, and I have all the Go Cubes, including the 6-inch ones. So here are the blocks for that. So I'm excited to get into that and see, you know, what I can make with those. But I can do those with the cubes. So if I don't feel like cutting, I can always cut some stuff out. And then here's some books that I've had in my stash a long time. They are Around the Block. There's another one called Around the Block Again, and a third one called Once More Around the Block. And inside here are blocks, and they have all kinds of different sizes. So this one's really handy if you're making your own quilt and you haven't decided what size you want to make. So I'm going to use, this is a ton of ideas. So anytime I feel like, you know, I just kind of spin the book and find something that I think would be really fun. Maybe you'll learn a technique if you follow along with some of the shorts and some of the videos. Maybe you'll learn something new or make your life a little bit easy. And I'm going to be doing the blocks on shorts, but also once a month I will come back to a long format video and show you what we made throughout the month, so you can see what I've been working on. So I hope at sometime this year you'll join me, or you'll think about making some small pieces. If you like to work in really small pieces, do little blocks. And I have some other ideas too that I might share with you throughout the year. But in any case, I hope we can make 100 blocks this year together. And if you're interested, check out the description below for all of the details on all the books that we're going to use, and You know, I'll put some fun stuff in there for you so you can find, but join me. It'll be real soon because we got to get started. We're going to make 100 this year. By the way, that equates to about 8 to 9 a month if you started in January. So we have a little work to do to get there. But in any case, thanks for joining me on the channel. Keep at it. Follow me for tips, follow me for ideas, follow me for inspiration, or just come quilt with me. All right. Until next time, happy quilting.